Hi YouTube. I hope you're doing good. I'm doing okay. I had fun cleaning my house today, but now I'm tired and I still have stuff to do, but I thought time to make a video. You know, you hurt yourself if you keep going when you're tired. It's not that you can't do it. It's that sometimes you shouldn't, because you got to take care of yourself, so yeah, that's where I'm at. Just I do what I can, and there you go. But oh hey, 007, his channel, he put out a really good thing on lesson number 1 was the name of his video, and he was talking about these people that keep in contact with their forefathers, their loved ones on the other side. You know, um, I agree with Richard. It's like, let them go, let them rest in peace. Our ancestors and that type of thing. It's like, no, they've moved on. They are no longer the people that we knew when they were in the flesh. Their soul, I mean, I can sense people that have moved on. I can sense their soul, but their spirit, um, you know, whether or not that's going to be the same or not for some people, I don't know. But he gave his feelings, Richard did, about that whole thing, and I agree. Um, you know, it even says in the scriptures, and I believe this is for 2 reasons. One reason is to keep you unaware of the fact that it's not only what has gone on before in the ether, but what is going on now. Spiritual communication between us fleshly people, that is a real thing. It's not clairvoyance. It's not uh, soothsaying, and there's another word I was searching for. That, just a minute. Like telepathy or anything that, or superhuman. That's the point. Nothing, the capabilities that we have inside ourselves, they would call it supernatural or superhuman. These are the things that we can actually do that they don't want to teach people how to do, So I was thinking about that today. It's like, yeah. So there's 2 different reasons in my mind why the scriptures, the good part in the book and the bad part of the book. One part of the book is trying to get you to get in touch with the spirit inside yourself, connected to God and other human beings. The other part of that is trying to put something else in that place, or to make you believe that it's something that you can't obtain, or something you have to practice to do, that type of thing. I don't know. I'm just thinking here. So I'm gonna take a couple of aspirins. I have sort of like a sinus headache. Um, could be the barometric pressure. We just had a little bit of rain. Sometimes that'll do it. It's like gloomy and headachy. I don't know if you ever get like that, but I do. So, occasionally. Cheers. So yeah, 007's video was pretty good. Interesting to get people to think, because, yeah, we're mortal in the flesh here, but do you believe you have a spiritual nature to yourself that is eternal? That's the question you have to ask yourself, because although we are talking to other mortal human beings, the origination of that energy and who you are and who God made you to be is a lot more than what people focus on in general in life. I think it starts with self-reflection and morally valuing ourselves enough to pick ourselves up when we fall. We don't really need a spirit to do any of that for what's written on our hearts already, You don't really need spiritual guidance for that. It's embedded in us, is what I'm trying to say. So, whether or not we tap into that or not. Doug came up with an interesting thing, and it is funnier than, because he said that Mother Teresa was Anthony Fauci's mom, and with a side-by-side photo, both of them being kind of smaller of stature. And I don't know if you know the bad things that were said about Mother Teresa, but I do remember how she grabbed kids and kind of discarded them in a weird way when she would touch them. I don't know, it's weird. That didn't seem to resonate with me as a mom and a human, and these needy children that she was around in the past through the decades when I was growing up and seeing this woman doing missionary work, and that I thought something was weird about her. But, yeah. Anyway, but I thought it was funny. Mother Teresa and Fauci, I don't know if it's true. I have no clue. But it is funny to think that it would be, you know. Just like all the places that are blocked off to the public that we can't go on this planet. Why? What is that? I was listening to, let's see, it's called WTV, Woodward TV, and the mysterious encounters in the Antarctic. And he was talking in maybe this video or a different one. He said different times, but it is true. Down there they have a country, they say they have a 200-foot ice wall. But there's also land that can fit most of Canada, all of the United States, and most of Mexico in, and Alaska. That's how much land there is there. That's a huge, huge land mass that no human beings are allowed to be on. But those of military countries, militants of some sort from various countries, and their scientists, people like you or I that may have studied all of the same things, get together with their little buddies and go and do whatever they want down there. Isn't that curious? Very curious, you know. Or there's just a certain amount of area that the public can go to view that continent in the world. Our world. But you're not allowed there. They are, but you're not. Yeah, that's a little weird, isn't it? Yeah. Or national parks that should belong to the Native Americans, not the government. Where the hell do they get off? I'll never be settled in my country till the natives, the indigenous in my country, have their land and government like any ruling country in the world. And until the people in my country trust the original people to do the right thing for everybody in our country, I really have no mercy for anybody so ignorant towards that fact. And then they would support somebody obtaining land in other countries that's really none of their business because of political and religious gains. That to me is so unsettling on a daily basis. I just can't get over it. I don't know how anybody here can even look in the mirror and sleep at night and not care about that. But you would support a stupid military, a militant force in other continents, and not take care of what we have right here. That's really, really extraordinary, isn't it? I know you can hear my dryer, but I don't know if in the background you can hear the sandhill cranes. They're huge birds. They're just beautiful. So, like a stork, or well, there's a blue heron, sandhill cranes. They're like a cormorant, or um, there's another bird that flies, albatross. They are similar, if I'm not mistaken. Like a stork, sorta, only they have a long beak instead of that pouch for fish, where they grind it up in there with like a, well, their gullet, their gizzard, you know. That's what I thought was goofy. This Woodward just re-uploaded the same video, all because of the noise. He was distracted by some of the noise in the background, ghost or something. Anyway, no worries. They didn't try taking this video down. Stay awake, stay aware, and stay safe. Okay. I thought it was sounding familiar. That's why I go like I heard something in this video or another one, and I was part way into it and I thought, this is the same thing. But yeah, it's alright. Some people are really getting the information out there. I think it's just sharing information and like thoughts, like what are you thinking? Are you thinking like I'm thinking? You know, what I'm thinking is these people that are well-to-do aren't going to be as well off as they wanted to be. That's my prediction. Yeah, I don't have too much to do, just dishes to put away and cigarettes to roll. A few other things, no big deal. Nothing too pressing. I was moving plants around this morning. getting things ready for springtime. Some things I keep kind of not totally low light, but you have to grow them different here. We're in a kind of a medium sun climate, northern hemisphere. It's hard to grow tropical plants. You gotta really baby them, you know. So I have an avocado tree and a Madagascar rubber tree, a bonsai, stuff they call snake plant or mother-in-law tongue, some cacti. Let's see what else. Oh, I have a pineapple tree that I've been growing for, I think it's in its 5th or 6th year, and it looks just like a aloe vera, or similar to like a yucca plant or aloe, and it's I probably am gonna replant it into something, because I saw people, instead of growing just one pineapple, it was an actual tree and they took pineapples off it. I thought, I wonder how long a pineapple that I grew just from the top, I wonder how long it's going to grow. So it's been growing for about 5 years, I think. Maybe 6. I don't know. It's pretty cool. So I'll show it to you sometime. It's different. So. Oh, and I have some lettuce growing, some romaine. Um, I'm going to go out and move my rhubarb. Maybe tomorrow might be a good day. It's going to be really nice for transplanting things. So maybe the same as today, a little bit cloudy or not too hot, you know. Maybe good planting weather for transplanting a well, it's called a biennial. Perennial, it comes up every year, so not biennial. That's every other year. So it's a perennial. But and if you only have it like during the summer, it's called an annual. So anyway, and we're going to be getting some of them, like some herbs and different things to grow. But I have my chives of rhubarb and all kinds of stuff. Raspberries, wild strawberries, grapes, all kinds of crab apples, choke cherries, hazelnuts, um, lots of stuff around. So I've just got planting on my mind, but really to do anything, like if we're gonna put any like tomatoes in the ground or anything like that, we would typically want to wait till about May 11th, sometimes around Mother's Day weekend. And that used to be a huge conflict for me, because in my state of 10,000 lakes, they usually let moms fish for free without a fishing license on Mother's Day, and her kids, yeah, you can take your kids with you and fish for free on Mother's Day in my state. So, because, yeah, we need a fishing license. Unless I was up on a reservation somewhere, I could fish all I wanted to fish. So, a lot of people don't know that the Native Americans keep milfoil and different zebra oysters and different invasive species out of our waters to keep it clean. They restock trout and walleye and different fish in our waters. They grow them as baby fries out of eggs and care for them in fisheries to put in the lakes and restock them, so people in the United States can go and fish, you know. There's, of course, native fish that procreate and all that out there, but there's certain lakes in our state that would be fished out because of the amount of resorts and people in the summer. There's beaches everywhere. Just everywhere. It's beach country, around me. I don't know how many thousands of miles of beach there is in this state. There's a good question. I used to know that. Beachfront property in this state. I might look that up sometime out of curiosity again. Yeah. Were there any aftershocks or tremors from that earthquake over on the East Coast, or was it just like a one-trick pony? Did they rattle your cage and that was it, or was there some seismic activity after that, like normal? Normally, when you have something like that happen, there is aftershocks to a certain. Whoa, my dryer went off. To a certain degree, there's usually some kind of activity. But did you know that there's earthquakes on the planet every day, all day long? Like at the caldera up in Yellowstone, um, there's always seismic activities up there. You know, that's the greatest volcano on Earth if it blows its top. So, yeah, and there's always activity there. Doesn't hurt to keep an eye on things, You never know. It's like, I think it was 77 Mount St. Helens, or maybe it was, I don't know. Yeah, I was living out west when it happened, um, in Washington State, of course, is where it happened. I was in Montana, I do believe. Well, I know for a fact I was that year, if that was the year, but I was out west in one of the states. It could have been Wyoming, North Dakota, wherever I was. I think Montana, though. I was like, because I think I was 400 or 500 miles away from the epicenter of the whole thing. And everything was dark for about 2 weeks after that. It was like icky and gloomy, and the air was like sulfur, and it was pretty gross. So I made a good supper last night. I boiled some potatoes and took most of the peelings off them, and then I chopped them up, and then I browned some hamburger and took it out of the pan and the grease, and then I put some butter and fried my potatoes till they were browned, and I added the meat back in, and then we had ketchup on it. So hamburger hash or beef hash. I'll do that with leftover beef sometimes too. I make the potatoes just about that big because you don't want them to fall apart. So you make them like about the size of a dice, a rolling dice, about that size, a little bit bigger, because when you're moving them around and they're pre-cooked, they have a tendency to fall apart if you don't have them big enough. And I sometimes will slice them or half slice them, but they're easier to move around in the pan if you get the chunks of meat and the chunks of potato about the same size. Yeah. And I was going to have salad with it, but I didn't. So I don't know what tonight will bring, but we'll see. I haven't decided yet. It's one of them days. Don't know what I want to eat until I get there. I had somebody on Facebook, they're like telling me what to eat and how to eat. It's like, go away. It's a good time to become vegan. Had nothing to do with the conversation that was going on, that we were talking about the sacrificed calves over in Israel, which has a deeper metaphoric meaning to the whole thing. The heifer, the cow, the female. Heifer is a female that hasn't given birth. So it's they're red heifers that they bought from Texas, yeah. Well, anyway, some dude's like, good time to become vegan. I said, well, I just go with what makes me strong. And he said something again, and I said, you want to spar? Martial arts? I'll stick, and then I said again, I'll stick to what I know makes me strong. Like I told Doug, I said, told him where he could probably stick a carrot, that he could try and digest it the other way, and perhaps that would give him a little more power. But in all reality, if I ate a carrot and I ate a chunk of beef jerky and I had to spar, I'll tell you what, the outcome of what that beef jerky would give me for protein and energy and actually having to battle versus that carrot would be a lot different in the outcome. And he said, yeah, make a meme with Barb and a carrot, sharpen 2 carrots, 1 carrot in each hand. That's about it. Telling people what, I mean, I feel bad enough if I have my moods where salads are about it for me, and I do not eat meat every day. I just don't. But to have people tell me how to eat, in fact, to have anybody tell me anything, keep your fucking opinions to yourself. If you think you're strong enough and smart enough to battle me in any way, tell me how to fucking eat then. But until then, you can shut your trap, people. It's one thing, if you're going to follow a fad, that's fine. But if you're actually not as strong or intelligent as what you speak, if you think you know nutrition and you really don't know the chemical science between what it does to your body, you probably shouldn't tell other people what to ingest. That's just my opinion. We don't have that right to tell people what to eat or not to eat. That's bullshit. So, here's one about alchemy, a meme. They tell me alchemy doesn't exist, but I took this pain and I turned it into gold. This self-loathing to wine, I learned how to transform destruction into growth, how to take all these broken, chipped, fragmented pieces and make something whole. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's true. Yeah, it's not always easy. This is true. It's a little sad. Today's youth don't get to experience a red rubber dodgeball to the face like we did back in the day. That's true. That's funny. I'm not going to share it. I was going to, but nah. People know. If you know, you know. Yeah, I would go bowling for children. I didn't like many of them. I liked them all. I just, I guess I really didn't like them all that much. No, I didn't. I wanted to. So I had a few people I liked in my elementary school, but yeah, a few. Yeah. I ran across a pretty decent band that does a whole bunch of cover stuff. And from what I understand, they're some of the remaining members of Supertramp, that band, and they're called the Yellow Brick Road Band. I'm impressed. Yeah. If you can sit and listen to a band do a bunch of other people's material and keep you entertained without having to switch off to another group or band or song or something, that's pretty cool. That's I think. I shared some of their music in my community and on Facebook if you're interested. So I'm gonna let you go. I do have my things to get done. So I love you all. I appreciate you joining me. Have a really good night or day wherever you're at. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.